How's it going, everyone? Session here. Welcome to Final Fantasy XIV Mobile. Now, essentially, they have released a statement in regards to the development team behind the mobile game and pretty much everything that we can look forward to and what they've kind of been working on in comparison to that with the main game. And so this page was released as of today, and I wanted to read it with you all and get a look as to what is to come to the experience as a whole. So let's read together. To all warriors of light. Greetings, Warriors of Light. We are the development team behind Final Fantasy XIV Mobile, or FF14 Mobile, and it's both exciting and a little nerve-wracking to finally connect with you all. After years of development, see, I didn't think it would, not knowing that there would ever make a development of a mobile game, and the fact that it's been like years is pretty interesting, actually. I wonder when they started. We're thrilled to share a bit about our journey of bringing Eorzea to mobile devices. Our journey began 5 years ago when a small team of die-hard 14 fans traveled across the sea to meet with Mr. Yoshida, armed with a 100-page proposal. 5 years ago was what? Endwalker? No. Shadowbringers. Ooh, okay. It felt a bit like standing before Bahamut Prime. We were confident in our preparation, but didn't know what to expect. Could we really secure the honor of working with this legendary IP? To our surprise, Mr. Yoshida didn't hesitate. Midway through our presentation, he pulled out a blackboard and started sketching ideas alongside us, just like you would before a tough savage raid. It was clear he believed in the project, and that was the first big step towards the mobile adaptation of FF14. Through our translator, Mr. Yoshida shared that he was deeply impressed by our dedication and love for Final Fantasy XIV IP. He had always thought it would be nearly impossible to adapt something so complex and full of content for mobile, but our passion made him reconsider. From that moment, we knew we were in this together. I like that. Sometimes it's just a simple matter of if you ever have an opportunity to talk to the people, because like I'm sure like Yoshi P and the team listens to everything that we do and say to a degree and try to take it into account, right? That's why some of these contests are involved. When they make changes for jobs, they kind of listen to us as well, and I can appreciate that. And so for them to have listened to like a really crazy business idea as making a mobile version of an MMO game that's active is like a huge step. So I'm very curious. From the very start, our goal has been to respect and stay true to the original game. We want our adventurers to feel the same depth, immersion, and connection on mobile that they've experienced in Eorzea on PC and other platforms. 5 years later, that vision hasn't changed. We know that Final Fantasy XIV is much more than just a game. It's a home, a place where friends have been made and epic stories have unfolded. We understand that, which is why we're so dedicated to making this mobile experience authentic. This bond is something we're working hard to preserve in the mobile version, ensuring that it's still your Eorzea, just in the palm of your hand. See, so from what I'm understanding about this as well, FF14 Mobile is in fact a separate experience from the main game. So it's not like if you've already played the main game on PC, that you don't have to play it on mobile. Apparently, you're going to be like your accounts will be separated in regards to mobile versus PC or console if you play on PS4 and Xbox. But it makes me wonder if they're going to create an experience where you can combine them together or at least have it all under one like service account. Because I actually would love for them to put that into place instead of just keeping it like completely separate. Not that they, wouldn't per se find a way to put it together, but I really hope that they've kind of considered that, knowing that there's a lot of people that are playing the mobile version with respect to the main game, and also like a lot of players who played the main game and just didn't expect a mobile version to ever come out. Because if I had to assume a mobile version was being made, that it's not necessary to play if I've already been playing the main game for the 10 plus years I've been playing it, so we'll see. FF14 Mobile won't be your typical fast-paced, bite-sized mobile experience. We're committed to offering a rich world where you can explore, enjoy, and connect, even if you're playing in shorter bursts throughout your day. Whether you're hopping on for a quick session or embarking on an all-night adventure, we want the game to feel unrestrained and fun. For those of you who want a casual experience, fear not. The game won't pressure you with your daily tasks or time-limited grind. You can jump in and out of yours as you please, and our frequent updates will make sure that whenever you return, there's always something you can enjoy. Very nice. We also understand the concerns. Some of you may be wondering, can a game expansive as 14 really work on mobile? Can we fit the richness of Eorzea in such a small device? The answer is a resounding yes. We knew it wasn't going to be easy, but like any warrior of light, we were ready for the challenge. We've been working to ensure camaraderie, exploration, and adventure that you experience in large areas like the Black Shroud or Sea of Clouds is just as immersive on mobile. which is impressive because I think with the graphics update as well, right? Isn't 14 like a 60 gigabyte or 80 gigabyte game, something like that, right? To fit that in a mobile title is impressive. Now, we've already understood that they're only starting off in waves, right? Like we're only going to have the 2.0 expansion, and then they're going to add in the patches of story over the course of time. So the mobile game will just be like a piece of content you can experience over the course of time instead of just one gigantic sweep. So you're not going to have to worry about going through every quest line of like ARR, Heaven's Ward, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, Endwalker, and Dawn Trail with the mobile game. They're only going to be starting off specifically with the first expansion, and then they'll kind of make their way up, which is going to be kind of nice because at least what I think that they will consider doing is, if you don't know, like the raid tier for A Realm Reborn is very different from the rest of the expansions, where they're not used at all in like the roulettes. So because like the difficulty of those fights, granted the fight is old, has the same level as what is like a savage level raid. So with the mobile version, they could just utilize the freshness of like recreating the experience, and then instead of just giving us like a giant copy and paste from like main game to mobile device, they can actually change what they would like to see. And I wonder if they're willing to experiment changing something from the mobile game and then just kind of putting it in the base game, and like vice versa, you know? So like it's going to be, questionable. Okay. However, our early attempts felt like tackling a savage raid without a clear strategy. We faced significant technical challenges. How can we preserve the seamless transitions of the Eogia's zones, the grandeur of Ishgard, or the beauty of the Tempest on mobile platforms? How can we bring complex mechanics like ultimate raids, fates, and dungeons to a touch interface? Which is very interesting because the biggest challenge to this is a lot of players, of course, who've been playing 14, myself included, right? You play either on like a controller, which I do, or on keyboard and mouse. So I don't think there's ever been a moment where you've been able to play it like directly on a, like a touch screen per se. So what I would like to see, if this is a possibility, without the use of anything, just like the game itself. I'm assuming if it's like a mobile download, I would love for them to make it available also on Steam so that you could play the mobile version, which sounds kind of counterintuitive, but it's just the accessibility that's nice because they've been working on making 14 more accessible just in general, right? Like they would at PC and PlayStation, then they've only recently branched out to Xbox, and I'm sure down the line we'll see some kind of Nintendo adaptation, which will be like kind of wild. So for them to take the mobile version as well and then convert it into something that kind of goes beyond mobile would be really nice. So, and again, it could be just as simple as putting it on PC and mobile as well. There's not a lot of times that they do this, but just the fact that it is possible would be very nice without needing to take anything else into account. So fingers crossed that we can actually get that. I would love to see what an ultimate looks like in on a mobile version, because we covered this very recently, but basically they are changing like the button pressing. Like, how there's like a rotation opener and all the buttons available from like 1 to 100. From what I understood, they're going to keep on doing that, but it's going to be like reduced to kind of allocate for the fact that it's like a mobile game. You don't have as many keys on a keyboard or as many buttons on the controller as you do on a phone, right? It's like one giant touchscreen. So we'll see. But like any determined warrior of light, we remained undeterred. Wait, under undeterred. Okay, I couldn't read that correctly. Sorry. By these obstacles, we called upon experts from every corner of the gaming realm. This is from server optimization engineers to UX designers. Together, we tackled each challenge with precision, testing, failing, and refining our approach, like we were perfecting our rotations. I like how they're kind of like it's cool. After countless iterations, we crafted solutions to preserve the immersive experience that you know and love in 14. And we owe a great deal thanks to the entire Square Enix team for their guidance and support. Their input from story and music to battle mechanics and art design has been invaluable in helping us stay true to the spirit of FF14. We're still refining the game and working hard to make sure it just feels just right. We didn't want to rush this journey, and we're confident that when the time comes, you'll feel at home and yours on your mobile device, whether you're a seasoned veteran or a new sprout. Which is exactly my point. I definitely didn't expect them to, like, as a main game player, to come into mobile. I didn't think I'd have to play the mobile version, but now that I am given the impression that like the mobile version will be very different from the main game, just in terms of like playing it, like you don't, it's not going to be like a full repeat. because I'm sure they're also going to redo some of the voice lines, right? And then I would love to see how that kind of translates between what I experienced all those years ago and like what I experience it now. So I'm actually very looking forward to it. We aim to gather feedback from players across different regions, so we begin by conducting tests, including monetization in various regions globally. And that's kind of a big question, because if you didn't hear about this, they pretty much said that the 14 game mobile version wise is not going to have any gotcha. You know how you kind of like throw 50 bucks and like get like a loot thing, and then you get like 11 different items, and then one of them is like an ultra rare? There's no rarity thing in this. And also, you don't pay money for the game either, and there is no subscription. It's like a free to play game, and there's no gotcha system. So like it's, you literally get to play 14 for free in the palm of your hand, which, in fairness, considering that this is going to be playing the 2.0 release and then kind of lead its way up to the inevitability that is Dawntrail, you can already play the trial version, right, with the main game up to Stormblood. So it's kind of expected that the monetization, granted it is what it is, like whether there's ads or like I'm expecting it to have ads and like its own separate online store, which will potentially be very interesting. So like we'll see, because one thing I'd be very concerned about is if Glam comes out specifically in the mobile version, but then it never comes out in the main game, or vice versa. You know, and we've already, if you go through the trailer, you'll actually see some outfits that do appear in the mobile game that are purchasable items via the online store in the main game. The easiest example I can give you is the Eastern Lady Togi, which is like a red like Eastern dress, and it's part of a outfit that a character is wearing in the trailer, and that's like I think it's like $18 on the online store. So chances are it might have like a similar price tag with that in mind, but I'd be very surprised if it's like free or something. But then there's other outfits. So again, I think that this mobile game, granted the accessibility of experiencing the story is going to be much more widespread, I also expect it to have very unique things that they'll kind of test with it, and then if it's a good like feedback, they'll probably bring it into the main game, and vice versa. Like if something isn't working in the mobile game but it's working well on the main game, they'll probably try and translate it out of the main game and put it in the mobile version, so we can kind of like bounce back and forth. So we'll see. From there, we will first launch the game in mainland China, which I understand because from what I understood and heard, China like loves mobile games. So it starting off there does make sense to me. And after, we will gather further feedback and make any necessary adjustments, and will gradually expand to a global release. So no matter where you are in the world, stay tuned. We're excited for everyone to experience it. Thank you for your patience and walking this path with us. The adventure is only just beginning, and we can't wait for you to be part of it. With gratitude, FF14 Mobile Development Team. I love that, honestly. So yeah, I'm very oh man, that's they have a behemoth of a team working in a mobile game. So like we will have to see how it plays out. I I don't know how, because if you look at like the server play, you have like, you know, US, Europe, Japan, and then like Oceania, which is like Australia. There isn't like a region specific for like China. I feel like China players, if you play in China, I think it's available in China, right? They play either, and mostly probably in like Japan, but I think they also play in, they could play like in Europe. But I actually don't know if they have a like a China player base. But if anything, if they do, then they're already playing the main game by some way. Actually, no, they do, but they're just behind, right? So this is going to be yet another experience for them to expand over in the East and then just make it more global. Because I understand that the mobile version's objective is to tie you into the story, but also still provide you with the content that they already have in the main game, which is really, really cool, actually. I'm looking forward to finding out about that and kind of having it come to fruition. So fingers crossed, we find out a lot more information about this. However, this is really awesome. I'm absolutely, now that I understand that the mobile game is a mobile game that I have to play separately from the main game, it'd be really nice to like, thank you, Chair, to have the main game like on the side, and then either I'm like quick synthesizing or something, and then in my hands I'm playing the mobile game and like re-experiencing the story. I really hope though that they do find a way to confirm like, hey, you can get it on Steam, or um if anything, I'll have to plug my phone into my computer and like have it kind of like, you know, AirPlay kind of thing, and then do that, because I would love to experience it um all over again as like a first time experience. I'd be very intrigued by it. So it sounds like a lot of fun. I'm very, very very sold on the idea for this. So I hope you guys are also equally looking forward to it. So I can't wait to find out more information. So thank you for watching and tuning in. Let me know what you think. And yeah, hopefully see you guys soon in the FF14 Mobile when it comes out. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.